Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Brandon. This is my co-host Brandon. Brandon Squared has returned, and we're talking about a couple of things today. But first, the 91st Annual Academy Awards. So, there's a lot of controversy surrounding who won Best Picture. Of course, that went to Green Book. I know you didn't see Green Book, but I did explain Green Book to you.
Yeah, you did.
I think personally, Black Panther should have won. Well, at least the first, 2/3 of the film, the final third. But I know you have an opinion, so go ahead. Why don't you go ahead?
So my thing is with Black Panther, like I really like the movie personally. Like it's just like as a Marvel film, I'm a comic book fan. I like Marvel and DC. I've been like really hard into really reading all those comic books. Like I bought some, but I've mostly read them online illegally. That's a separate issue. But I felt as though like all the awards Black Panther has been getting, like some of them are deserved, but I also feel as though the Oscars and what are the movies ones? Oh, just the Oscars.
Yeah, the Oscar, well, it's the Golden
And all
Globes, the SAG Awards.
Yeah, but all the other awards they've been winning, like they weren't always the most deserved of their win, in my opinion, at the very least. Like other people feel strongly about this. I feel as though like they're giving out some of these awards just because it's just like a majority black cast and the first Marvel movie to be awarded, or a superhero movie to be like nominated for all these like different things. I personally don't feel that out of all the nominees that were available, they should have won just because they're like a majority black cast and they're the first superhero movie to get it. Like it's good, but it wasn't as good as other movies in my opinion.
That's very true. I watched Green Book. I watched it before the Oscars on Saturday, and I watched it again Monday night. I'm not sure it was the right movie to win right now. Maybe not in 2019 for Best Picture, because it doesn't meet, I guess, the cultural standard. And like we were just saying about Black Panther, there were a lot of black people in the film, and that's why it was a really good film. It wasn't the best film, but it was a good film. And it was nominated for an Oscar, and I felt that the community felt that the Oscar should have gone to Black Panther simply because it was able to achieve what it did, getting nominated. So why nominate it if it's not going to win? But if that were the mentality of the Academy, they would only nominate one film.
Yeah.
But congratulations anyway to Green Book. What's the name of the guy, the white guy?
Viggo Mortensen?
There we go. Viggo did a great job in this film. He didn't win Best Actor. That went to Rami Malek from Bohemian Rhapsody. But Mahershala Ali did take home Best Supporting Actor. This is his second time in 3 years winning that award. Congratulations to him, too. Now, something a little deeper. R. Kelly.
Kells.
Yeah. So R. Kelly was charged with 10 counts of aggravated sexual misconduct. His bond was set at $1 million, and he only had to pay 10%, which is $100,000. And he couldn't afford it, or at least that's what we're being told.
Initially,
he couldn't afford it.
They had to scrounge up some money.
Yeah, yes, they did.
Yeah.
And well, I'll tell you what my thoughts are, and what my mother actually said to me this morning that made me think differently about the entire thing. But go ahead.
So, for those of you who don't know, R. Kelly's this time he's been arrested for aggravated sexual misconduct with a minor based on this new evidence that they found.
3 minors.
3 minors.
3 minors, because it's 4 victims and 3 of them were under 17.
When it happened? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And there's a video, allegedly, which details him and these minors or minor involving in sexual acts. So this happened before, years ago, and this was a whole big case, but it was so drawn out that people just kind of let it go. And even then, R. Kelly's status as such, as an artist, and
yes, he's a huge he's an R&B king. He really
exactly,
is.
The king of R&B.
Everyone,
at least my childhood, I Remix to Ignition, When a Woman Loves. It's there's other songs I just can't remember off the top of my head. Okay. But
I Believe I Can Fly.
I Believe I Can Fly. That came out during
the closet.
That series I watched. It's hilarious. But I Believe I Can Fly, funny enough, mentioned during the docu-series Surviving R. Kelly, came out during the midst of his allegations and his cases. I guess it was a really good time to reinvent his image, just as he puts out this gospel song with a bunch of kids, and during that same time he's on a case for having sexual misconduct with all these with these minors.
Right.
My thing is, I don't understand why he still has fans, because there's a video out of him being released from prison on bond. And during, like, you can hear all these questions from reporters who's there as he's getting out. But in the background of the video, you can hear his supporters there like, "We believe in you, R. Kelly. He didn't do it. Kells is a wronged man. Yeah. Like they got him. They got the wrong guy." And even his lawyer said everyone's lying.
He goes, everyone is lying. All the women, every last one of them. I don't know how that's possible.
It's funny to me because after the docuseries came out and they went in detail, in depth about all the different cases he had and how he settled multiple cases before the sex tape got out. All these different, like, what was it, like 13 to some odd, a lot of cases of sexual misconduct with a minor, and how he was like, even people who hung out with him and a part of his crew during his touring, like, or used to tour with him, said how he used to hang out around high schools and how girls would come to see him and how he'd bring them to the studio and all this other stuff. Yeah. And like how he'd have them perform.
And let's not forget how he married Aaliyah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Singer Aaliyah. She's no longer alive. Rest in peace, Aaliyah. But oh my gosh, what was she? 15 when they got married?
She was 15, but they lied to the priest and had him write that she was 18.
They forged some documents, the marriage license, to say she was 18 at the time of the. Oh,
it's a lot of weird stuff going on. I hope they get him this time, just like so he learns that he can't. He has to pay for like his consequences. Like, it's ridiculous to me how he gets off. Well, he gets off the first time for the sex tape. Like, he gets off scot-free. He's cool. He goes on to continue to tour and everything. He continues to do his stuff. Yeah. But why would he do it a second time? Like, that's just cocky. That's arrogant, really. Like, you do it one time, you get off. You do it another sex tape, and then it gets out. Like, did you not think this was gonna happen?
Obviously not.
What? To me, at least, it feels like the OJ kid, like OJ, how he got off for murder, allegedly, alleged murder. Yes. And then he goes on to go to prison for grand larceny for stealing his own memorabilia and merchandise. Like, you get off for murder and then you go steal stuff. Like, what? Do you want to go to prison that bad? Like I don't understand what happens, but that's just me, and I feel kind of strongly about this because of how close, like, how much I listen to his music,
right? And
how much I enjoyed it.
And I mean, it was in a lot of the things that we watched as kids growing up. I believe I Can Fly was in Space Jam.
Was it?
Yeah, I believe it was in Space Jam at the end of the film where Michael Jordan is walking out into the field or something. I don't remember where it was, but I know it's in that movie.
It's in graduations. It's in like just regular, like, just church stuff that she'll sing. It's so much of like R&B, and his music specifically is wrapped in like our culture and like, or at least how we were raised, that it's shocking to see that this is the stuff he's been doing.
Right, and I mean, they play his music at every, sorry to cut you off, but they play it at every cookout.
Exactly.
Every, family reunion, everything. You can't go anywhere without. Find one. Yeah, that two-step song, the Step in the Name of Love? Yeah, that song, yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know all R. Kelly songs, but that one, yeah, they play R. Kelly everywhere. It's part of the culture.
Yeah.
But he's been muted, so I guess, well, yeah, okay. Yeah, he's been muted. I'll leave it at that. I did say that I wanted to say that something my mother said to me this morning. I think that they're trying to make it look like he doesn't have any money, but this man was worth $110 million. I don't know where all that money went, but they're trying to make it look like he doesn't have the money that he, I guess, maybe does have. But my mother says they made him go to McDonald's after he got out.
That's right.
But he's wearing a Montclair. I don't have a Montclair. I mean,
we're not as rich.
I don't have $1 million either. Exactly. $110 million. I
don't have $100,000 to bail myself out. Whatever I did for $1 million bond to be placed, don't let me out. Like, I don't have the money to get out. Like, you don't have to run my pockets or nothing. Like, it's gonna be a tough time. But
that's true. Because if I ever mess up that bad at something,
bond?
and I got $1 million bond,
that really makes
my
you.
My mother's gonna say, "You're staying."
What did you do? What could you possibly have done to put $1 million bond on you?
Oh, exactly.
Man. But that's the case isn't funny.
No, it's not. But
it's tough.
It is sad too because he was such a a staple in the black community and such a big musician. And he wrote songs for people like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So.
Michael Jackson got his own problems.
Yes, that's a whole another thing.
Situation.
And there's a documentary on HBO.
Yeah. I don't want to watch it.
Me either.
They keep taking out my stars from me, and I can't do it. That man made Thriller.
Yes, look, we're gonna leave Michael Jackson out of unless there's something like huge in there that we didn't know, that they have evidence that proves that it happened, and even then I'm gonna be skeptical because this man isn't even around to defend himself anymore.
Believe me, but
and they tried to take, well, I guess they did take the best-selling album position from him, gave it to the Eagles, but the Eagles, I don't count that because the Eagles' best-selling album is actually a compilation of all their hits. It's a greatest hits album.
The Eagles?
Yeah, the Eagles.
Who are the Eagles?
Exactly. The Eagles have this greatest hits album, and apparently that greatest hits album is now the best-selling album of all time over Michael Jackson's Thriller. You know Michael Jackson's Thriller is, first of all, every song on that album is a hit. Every song. Every song. How many people do you know that can put out an album and every song on the album is a hit? Usually get maybe 3 or 4 hits off of an album. If you're good. If you're good. But usually you might get maybe 1 hit or no hits.
Or today, people just be putting stars on Apple Music like next to songs that aren't really that good. But like to have like a really like a number one like top charting song and have 4 of those on like an album, that's at least 4. Yeah. That's ridiculous. Yeah. But you wanted to mention Michael Avenatti or?
Well, I mean, he somehow keeps getting his he keeps sticking his foot in everything, and I'm tired of seeing him. He's everywhere all the time. You might know him as Stormy Daniels' lawyer. Stormy Daniels, of course, is the woman who alleges she had an affair with the President of the United States before he was President of the United States, when Melania Trump, the First Lady, was pregnant with their son, Baron Trump. It's like amazing how everything connects, you know? Yeah. Anyway, so Jussie Smollett, another person who has been indicted in Chicago, and it's really sad because the mugshot they took of R. Kelly and the mugshot they took of Jussie Smollett, it's sad because, and funny, they're both standing in the same spot in their mugshot. You can tell because there's like an indentation in the gray painted bricks behind them.
Word?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see that.
You can tell they're in the same exact spot, and it's so sad to see that. Anyway, so Jussie Smollett and his lawyer, I guess, released some new evidence that corroborates his story. All the air quotes.
You have evidence.
Yes.
So,
I mean, he has all these text messages and a check, and on the check, this is the check that the superintendent of police in Chicago says that the brothers told him, the Nigerian brothers told him that they were paid to stage the attack on Jussie for $3,500. On the check, it says it's for some kind of nutritional diet thing. Anyway, no one is going to write for staged attack on a check. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on.
I don't think Jussie has been through many like illegal transactions before.
I don't think so.
And to be clear,
not that we have.
Not that we have, but suppose, like, hypothetically, we were supposed to go through one, I wouldn't write you a check.
Right, you could have paid me cash.
Thank you. I'm like, I'm not writing you a check like, Nigerian brothers for staged attack and possibly, a few drugs. Like, I'm giving you the cash for it, and then we'll see each other on the night it happens.
Right, it's much harder to trace cash, if at all possible, trace cash.
But
when you
why
have
leave
a
paper trail?
Right, and on your check, it's going to have your routing number, it's going to have your account number, and if you're going to do it with a debit card or Cash App or Venmo or any of those things, there's going to be a digital footprint some way, somehow.
Speaking of Venmo, have you ever looked at, like, if you have Venmo, you have, like, most people have their transactions just open. So you can just see like all like the different things like they'll send like within like your friend group if you have their number.
Yeah.
It's a lot of drug transactions. Like people just be putting like a red light or like a tree symbol or just like anything. I know 90% of them are drugs or just like drunk taxis home.
It's okay. Oh man. Well, Jussie, he's gonna have his day in court in March. He of course is, just like R. Kelly, both of them have the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. I have to say that for legal purposes, because I'm not getting sued by Michael Avenatti. I'm not. Nope. So I think that's the end for us. What is this? 15 minutes? I think we did good. We did a lot of talking. This was a funny one. I enjoyed this.
Did you wait? Hold on, one last thing. Did you see the meme where it's like, imagine you've won the prison talent show for like 6 years in a row, and then you hear that R. Kelly and Jussie Smollett is on the way to the prison.
No, I didn't.
It's hilarious. Who has the time to think of these things? Like, it's
People are
perfect.
funny.
It's
Yep.
perfect.
That is true. You won the. Oh my goodness.
Like, you really don't know what are you gonna do now. It's like, gotta shank something.
Man.
It's gotta. I'm not losing. 6 years in a row. I'm going for 7. He ain't winning.
Oh, the news, man. Wow. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Brandon. This is my co-host, Brandon. Make sure you guys share this video wherever you share YouTube videos. Make sure you subscribe, and like this video, of course. I know we're making kind of longer videos, but that's just because we got a lot to say.
Yeah.
Also, if you've got friends, I know you do because you're here, obviously. If you've got friends, send them, this video, make them watch it, make them share it with a couple of friends, post this to your Facebook pages and your Instagrams
and your Vistos.
and your Vistas and your That's, and anywhere. Just post it, share it with your friends. It doesn't hurt. It's actually free. Mm-hmm. All right, guys, take care, be good. And if you can't be good, at least be good at it. Take care.